That was a sweet moment.
That's how this movie makes me feel.
That was a sweet moment.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Stasi.
I'm Steven.
And in this episode, we will both be watching the movie New Year's Eve for the first time. Yeah, he's not a fan. We're going to see what each other knows about the movie. We'll give a few details about the movie. We'll go watch it, then we'll come back and give our review. Steven, do you know anything about New Year's Eve?
I know that it's called New Year's Eve, and it probably has something to do with New Year's Eve. That's it. I don't remember this movie ever coming out. We have a box here, a 4-pack of romantic comedies that Stasi purchased. I don't even want to know how much he spent on it. You could not pay me to take this off your hands. So out of these 4 piles of shit, we're going to be watching this pile of shit tonight, and that's all I know about the movie.
Yeah, I actually don't know that much about it either. I think Zac Efron is in it, and I love him. So I was sold. I mean, that's all it takes? Well, I don't have high expectations for this movie. I really don't. I think it's going to be
I would prepare for them to not
cheesy,
even meet your low expectations.
Rom-com.
I can't believe you're making me do this shit. Okay.
Let's get into some details.
All right, so I'm going to read off the back of this case here. Bear with me because the print is a little small. New Year's Eve, starring Halle Berry, Jessica Biel, John Bon Jovi, really? Abigail Breslin, Robert De Niro, are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing in this movie? Josh Duhamel, your boy, Zac Efron's there, and then a bunch of other people that I don't want to read right now. It looks like this piece of garbage was produced by Mike Cars, Wayne Rice, Gary Marshall, and the film was directed by Gary Marshall. So he is who to blame for this piece of shit that we're about to watch. And New Year's Eve came out in 2011. Okay, don't even ask me if I'm looking forward to this. You already know the answer. We're going to go watch the movie now.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We just watched New Year's Eve. We're now going to break it down with a quick synopsis. Spoilers ahead, although I don't know why anyone would care.
Good point.
So this movie has about 45 actors in it that are well-known actors. So the first, 20 or 30 minutes of the movie is just them introducing everyone that's in the movie.
It's Michelle Pfeiffer.
There's
Zac
your boy.
I know her too. That's Sarah Paulson. Ashton Kutcher too. Sofia Vergara, I love her.
Of course, John Lithgow's in this movie. There's Halle Berry. Who is the actress?
Leah Michelle from Glee. So are they done introducing new characters?
I hope so. There are so many different people and things happening in this movie. I'm sure I'm going to forget some.
There's a lot of setup in this movie.
For basically, nothing. But still, they just had to introduce everybody that they paid to be in this movie. I mean, it doesn't even really matter to say any of this in chronological order. Basically, you have a couple pregnant ladies and their husbands. Ashton Kutcher gets trapped in an elevator with some chick. Robert De Niro plays a dying man. There's Katherine Heigl is a chef in love with John Bon Jovi. Hilary Swank is in charge of the ball drop. What else am I missing?
Michelle Pfeiffer is a woman who's in
she's got a bucket list. She's having a midlife crisis, and Zac Efron takes her around all day. And you have some kids with Abigail Breslin and her mom, Sarah Jessica Parker. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
Your favorite person.
Did you know she was in this movie?
No, I didn't. I swear.
And then Josh Duhamel is trying to get back from Connecticut or some shit back into the city
from his brother's wedding, I think.
Yeah, some wedding. Who cares? I mean, the movie just cuts back and forth between all of these things happening. None of it ever really matters. There's no depth to any of it. It's just a big shiny ball of sparkly shininess that is New Year's Eve. You have all the drama and stuff. Josh Duhamel can't get back. He crashes his car. You have the different love story thing. Robert De Niro's on his deathbed with Halle
You've just
Berry
got all
as a
these
nurse,
obstacles
and Carrie
that
Ells
are
as
like...
his doctor. And then you find out that Hilary Swank, who's in charge of getting the ball to drop, and there's an issue with the ball, and she's got to get Ludacris to get the guy from Russia to come fix the thing. It's just so much stuff happening that it's just sort of all kind of like just pointless.
Did you not feel any happiness or joy?
No.
And you call me cold.
Yeah, it was terrible. Okay, so let's finish this synopsis. So basically, yeah, you have all these different people, and it's just cutting back and forth to these different stories, and then you figure out that, like, you know, the dying man is Hilary Swank's father, the nurse, her husband, is, like, in a war, so she's Skyping with him.
And Ashton Kutcher
whatever.
And Zac Efron's character are roommates.
Yeah,
I
so
think
they're all just sort of, like,
best friends or something.
intertwined for kind of no reason other than they needed to do something with these characters. And then the very end of the movie is like Josh Duhamel, his character. I don't even remember anybody's name in the movie. I just remember the actors.
There
like,
were so many people.
Yeah,
it was hard to keep
they say their
up.
name like one time, and you're like, I don't remember that. And then he's got to come back to meet a woman on New Year's Eve who he met last New Year's Eve and kissed her, but didn't learn her name. But she left him a note, and he fell in love with her. Or some shit.
He didn't think that she would be there, but he went anyway
Yeah.
on like a leap of faith.
You also have like the kids, like Abigail Breslin leading like the group of the kids side of the thing, and you find out her mom is Sarah Jessica Parker, who shouldn't even be in this movie. She shouldn't be in any movie. She's the worst. And
basically, she doesn't want her daughter going to Times Square for New Year's Eve because it's not safe. She's only 15. Yeah. So that's the whole plot line with them.
So it's just like a big mishmash of nothing. And then like the very end of the movie is like you find out that like Josh Duhamel, he, you know, wants to meet the girl who we met last year. And of course, there's 40 actresses in this movie. Could have been any one of them. And of course, right at the end, who is it? Sarah Jessica Parker that he's been waiting a year to meet. And it's just, it was so terrible. They like do the thing where it shows her foot as she's getting out of the carriage and it pans up to her and it got to her face. And I was like, come the fuck on, really?
God damn it.
It's like the one person you didn't want it to be.
It could have been anyone else in this movie. Oh my God.
And it was really just the perfect cherry on top of the hot fudge shit sundae that was this movie. There's your synopsis. Hot mess.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it wasn't...
Did I miss anything? Did I forget any of the hundreds of people in the movie?
No, I think we named everyone. It was just, there was a lot going on. And there wasn't
There's a lot
one
happening, but really there's
plot.
nothing happening at the same time because it's all just, they're all just partying at the end at New Year's. Like, that's what it is. It's just New Year's Eve, and it's all the actors that you want to go see when you go to the movies, except for Sarah Jessica Parker.
I think it's because there were just so many people in it, it's hard to...
It's just a bloated mess is what it is.
Yeah.
So, Stasi, do you have anything else to add to the synopsis? Did we miss anything?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. I mean, it was 2 hours of all of these people back and forth.
Yeah, you spend like 3 minutes to 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah,
with
it's
each group.
really hard to build, like, it's...
Story, character arcs, development, anything.
It's hard to do that when you have that many people in one movie. Like, it's just, I haven't seen anyone accomplish that yet. I'll just say that. It was a lot, and yet not a lot.
Well, Stasi, it's obvious I did not have really a favorite part of this movie, so what was your favorite part or favorite parts?
So if I had to pick one of the stories throughout the movie, I would pick Ingrid, who was played by Michelle Pfeiffer, just because...
I'm astounded that you remember the name. I don't remember the name of any character.
It's the only name I remembered is Ingrid. I can't even remember Zac Efron's character's name, who was her buddy through the movie. So he's just going to be Zac Efron. But I liked that we saw her decide she's going to quit her job. Ingrid is working at this record label. I think it's a record label. And
who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And Zac Efron's character comes in. He brings her this package and sees that their tickets to this like big fancy New Year's Eve party, and he's like flipping out about it, and she's like, I don't really care, like that's not her kind of thing. She goes to her boss's office and asks about her end of the year bonus, and he hands her a check that's basically nothing, and she had been planning on going on a vacation with that money, which she obviously can't do because it's so little. And from there, you see her quit, and then she writes down all of these things that she wants to do. She ends up asking Zac Efron's character to help her accomplish everything on her list that same day. So, you know, there was like a trip to Bali and, you know, some other stuff I can't remember. But that was like the main thing that was like the hardest to accomplish. And he managed to get her to a place in Brooklyn that kind of resembled Bali. So you see her throughout the day. She completes all of these things, and she ends up at Times Square. And
with everyone else, coincidentally.
Yeah.
Hearing you recap it is just like it's terrible, but I'm glad it was your favorite part. She's a weirdo. She's a straight up weirdo. She's a spinster cat lady, and she was Catwoman.
Do you have any favorite parts?
Some of the shots in New York City were nice.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
I love how movies make New York City look like it is not just a disgusting, stinking, shitty city.
I mean, it depends on where you are. If you're like on the Upper East Side.
No magic.
Hold on, we're missing the dialogue. It's very important.
What was your least favorite part of the movie?
Where do I begin? I feel like you guys have a pretty solid idea of it at this point. So, I mean, my main gripe is just that this movie was just a generic blob of garbage. There was too many actors. It was completely bloated and lacked any depth or, you know, story, character development, anything. I mean, they try to do it with big, like, emotional, like the father dying or the husband being deployed or the birth of the babies, but you don't know any of these people. You don't care enough about them. You haven't seen them go through anything other than what's happened on this day, and there's too fucking many of them for you to even get connected and have any sort of emotion toward anything that's really happening. Also, just the dialogue was so generic. I mean, honestly, it was like it was written by like a third grader or a computer program.
It's the new year. I'm not going to be that guy anymore. This dialogue is awful.
Let's go. On one condition.
Like, was this movie written by a computer?
There's like 3 speeches given throughout the movie. They're just about, you know, hope in the new year and love and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's all shit you've heard before in different movies and different things through TV and songs and poems and all that crap. And they just package it up, throw a bunch of actors in there, a little salt and pepper, tie it up in a bow. Just generic.
I mean, they're playing to the masses.
The comedy was completely flat. They literally left pause breaks after jokes in this movie for the audience to laugh. And it was so bad. I mean, you have the old lady, like, closing the door of the elevator, and then Ashton Kutcher's like, oh, Miss blah, 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 you've been working out. She just looks at the camera for a second, like, you're supposed to be laughing at that. Or, like, it's so stupid.
I don't think you were really... Did they mean that to be, like, that kind of funny?
Yeah. Or, like, Russell Peters would give some quip at the end of Katherine Heigl bitching about her life or whatever, and then they just, like, freeze on him for a second. It's just, again and again, the comedy fell flat, the writing was terrible. It's just generic garbage.
I think we laughed at, like, two...
This movie,
two lines
there was like
in
2
the
things
movie.
that I laughed at. I don't even remember like what they were. Nothing stood out. This movie is like what, you know, my mom would drag my dad to go see when she didn't have anything else to do, and then by the end of it, he would want to just hang himself. It's just, you know, it's made for just people that don't want to think. You just want to turn your brain off, see shiny things, see actors that you know when they pop up on the screen, go, oh, I know him, I know her, and that's it. I mean, that's all it is. And the thing I did not like, above all else, can you guess what it was in this movie?
Sarah Jessica Parker?
Bingo. Why is she in this movie? Why does she need to be in this movie? I don't like her. She's not attractive. I have no idea how she has a career as an actor.
God, she's ugly. She looks like a skeleton.
She's not a good actor. I don't know. Stasi watches Sex and the City reruns all the time. I walk in on that show.
She's like, Mom, you used to run all around this city, banging every dude. that you talk to with your 3 whore friends.
Yeah.
It's just, she's unbearable. I cannot stand her. And of course, she's like the, the mystery girl at the end of the movie, like I said, just to top it all off and piss me off, set me right over the edge.
If it's her, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Well, just wait until I have you watch Sex and the City, the movie. It's coming.
We're gonna need a long break between this and that, because I can't, you cannot just stack these up on me like this. We need to watch some stuff that I actually like. What were your least favorite parts of the movie, Stasi? Anything that I didn't say? Anything in addition to my just...
In addition, I would just go a little further and say that as far as like the storylines go, my least favorite one, not Josh Duhamel and Sarah Jessica Parker, but the dueling pregnancy thing,
exactly.
like that was like, why? Like, it was just weird.
They're seeing who can have their baby closer to midnight to win $25,000.
Yeah, I couldn't.
They're eating sardines.
That could have been out.
Handstands and shit. It was so stupid.
Yeah, that was like my least favorite parts. Was just that story.
Honestly, this movie was just insulting for anyone that actually likes a movie that makes you think or makes you care or draws you in any way other than like, oh, those are people I know, and it's New York City, and it's New Year's Eve.
And it was so like
it's just a setting and actors. That's all this movie is. It was insulting to my intelligence.
It was disappointing too because you have like acclaimed actors. Like Sarah Paulson was one of the pregnant women. Now, I do realize this was 9 years ago and she hadn't really reached the level of notoriety that she has now, but yeah, there were just great actors in the movie who I think just did it for a paycheck, and it was easy.
I hope they got paid enough. Yeah, and you just had a bunch of random cameos. John Lithgow, Alyssa Milano, Carrie Ells.
Alyssa Milano was the one that was really like, that's kind of out of nowhere. She's just a random nurse
who gets one line in the movie, and then she's standing there holding a baby at the end. It's just like, why? Why, other than so people can go, oh, and she's in it too? Like, it was... Honestly, this movie was just like spitting in the face of anybody that actually likes movies that, again, just require any level of thought whatsoever.
They're playing to the masses. Like, I mean, we'll find out when we
I don't think people enjoyed it, though. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, maybe the audience really liked it. Maybe they just interviewed a bunch of people that like shiny things.
I'm just saying there's a reason that these movies keep getting made. Something's working.
So, obviously, I would not watch this movie again. I did this once for YouTube, and it will not happen again. Stasi, will you watch this movie again?
No.
Really? You wouldn't even?
No.
Not even for Zac Efron?
They're better movies than Zac Efron has
You just
done.
watch other stuff. All right.
Neighbors.
All right. Respectable.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't watch it again.
Good.
It was not... it was not good.
Can I frisbee the Blu-ray disc off the balcony? No, that's bad for the environment. Don't do that, people.
No, we're not doing that. But, I mean, I was trying to be nice and find something that I liked about the movie. He obviously did not care. So...
I mean, I cared. I just, like I said, there was nice cinematography of New York City. That was it. The bridges and the buildings and the lights and the party at New Year's. But, I mean, God.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. The one guy who drove the tow truck, he had the funniest line in the movie where he talked about getting with his woman and drinking a 12-pack and watching porn.
He's from 10 Things I Hate About You. I forget his name, but yeah.
Yeah, that actor and his 2 or 3 lines.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the only thing that made this movie anything at all.
So now it's time that we guess what the budget, box office, and Rotten Tomatoes scores were for New Year's Eve.
We have not looked any of this up, people.
Yes, we have not looked it up. So, do you want to go first?
All right, I'm going to go first. I'm going to say that the budget was probably like $150 million because they just had to pay all of these actors to be in this piece of garbage. And it probably made, I don't know, it must have made some money. So I'll say it made $250 million. What about you, Stasi?
So I'm going to say that the budget was $45 million and that the box office was $108 million. I'm not thinking it did terribly well, but I do think it made a profit.
And for Rotten Tomatoes?
Rotten Tomatoes, I'm going to say 27% for the critics score and 63% for audience. You?
I would say the critics probably gave it like a 40, and the audience, I don't know, a 60. There's probably some people that liked this. Those are my guesses. Stasi, what does the internet say? Look it up for us.
See. So, the budget for New Year's Eve was $56 million.
Okay, so closer to you than me.
Yeah.
So those actors were not paid as much as I thought they were.
And the box office was $142 million.
Okay.
So still sort of close. I said
It's
108.
way too much money for this movie, but yeah.
I mean, that's what I was saying. It made a profit. It definitely made a profit just because
they suckered people into seeing it with all the stars.
it's the Hollywood formula. Like, it gets people.
Yeah, generic.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. But that's what people like.
Popcorn. No, this wasn't even a popcorn movie. This was just bad. And what about Rotten Tomatoes?
So, Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
Critics.
I want to know.
Critics. 7%.
7? Okay, that's good. There we go.
And audience 45.
Okay.
So
the audience,
a lot more people hated it than we thought.
Yeah, audience 45, critics 7. I would agree with that. I mean, I wrote down my number when I guessed it, and I gave it a 15. So
Yeah, I said 27 for
27?
critics. Yeah.
Okay. I just gave it
It's
as my score. I would give it a 15. Just because
Yeah.
it was shiny.
Well, the
and
point
it had
is
some
to
nice
guess,
shots of New York.
to guess what the critics would have said.
Well, I was off.
Not.
But I would agree with
I
what
kind of want to. Okay, I'm going to read the critics' consensus. It says, shallow, sappy, and dull. New Year's Eve assembles a star-studded cast for no discernible purpose. Yeah.
I feel like I said that with a lot more profanity and anger, but that was, yes, my main point.
Yeah.
Big ball of nothing.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
It was my pick. Oh, God.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Here's to 2021.
It's the perfect way to end 2020 by watching this dumpster fire of a movie.
Yeah. Oh, God. So there's our review of New Year's Eve.
If you enjoyed this review and enjoy the way that we review movies here on the channel, go ahead and subscribe and make sure to check on notifications so you'll know when we post new videos.
Also, be sure to comment below. Let us know what you think of New Year's Eve, if you agree or disagree with our review.
Yeah, if you enjoyed this movie, let us know how wrong we are and how great this movie is. I don't think anybody's going to do that.
We'll see.
$150 million ain't wrong.
That's true.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Bye.
Who is that? I recognize her.
You're going to recognize everyone in this movie. There's 400 actors in it.
I know her.